Hi, and welcome to Water Review. I'm your host, DOS350, and in today's very special episode, we're going to be taking a deep dive look into Ossa. Am I saying that correctly? Ossa? Ossa? Ozza? I don't really know how it's meant to be said, now that I come to think about it, but we're going to be looking at what I like to call Ossa. Tasmanian spring water. Still. Now, it's Mount Ossa, so it's not just Ossa, but the mount is freaking tiny. You can't hardly notice it. Mount Ossa, Tasmanian spring water still. 750 mils in this Tasmanian still. Now, as you can probably tell, this bottle is glass, and it's pretty chunky. And it's 750 mils, and so let's just read the back of it before we go too far deep diving on a DOS350 tangent. But before we read the other side, I would remind you to please press the damn freaking bell button and the like button. Alright. It says, as Tasmania's highest peak, Mount Ossa stands tall at 1617. I'll say that again, 1617 meters above sea level. Natural Tasmanian water finds its way down the sculpted mountainside, forming highland streams that flow towards our single source spring at Caveside. So it rolls down the sculpted mountainside, forming highland streams that flow toward the single source spring at Caveside. I don't know anything really about Tasmania, so I don't know what the hell or where the hell Caveside is. Replenish, as we do, with a little piece of Mount Ossa, naturally Tasmanian. Okay, so they don't say too much. They've said that the mountainside is sculpted. So there's a lot in that we could unpack, but it's like the water freaking sculpts the mountain, and it's sculpted or what, and it's tall. It's Tasmania's highest peak. That's the first thing it says, so I've never been to Tasmania, and I don't know much about high peaks, but I'd like to see a list. I guess we'll get to that later. And anyway, it says bottled by Tasmanian Springs, Caveside Road, Caveside. So Caveside's an area of freaking mania. We're learning about Tasmania. Tasmania 7304 is the little zip code. They got a website, mountossa.com.au, and an email, info@mountossa.com.au. It's 100% pure Tasmanian. They got a little symbol there, and whatever. I'm assuming it is Tasmanian, seeing as it's Tasmanian mountain water or whatever. Product of Australia, 10-cent refund, a collection deposit, blah blah, and a barcode. And it says it's got freaking embossed into the glass. And let me see if I can get this. Probably won't come through to read it, but I'll just tell you that it says no refill. That's funny. So, but it is recyclable. Now, that's everything that the package has to offer. We've read the front, Mount Ossa. We've read the back. It doesn't say much. There's no ingredients because it's 100% Tasmanian water. And now I'm just going to talk about a bit my thoughts about this freaking mountain water. I'm not going to drink any yet. Make sure to tap the freaking dislike button if you're sad that I didn't drink it yet. I have a confession to make. If you have any long-term viewers that have been following DOS350 freaking metaverse for some time, you might think, oh shit, DOS350 makes all these reviews and wears those sunglasses But what kind of water does he drink? Well, let me break that down for you right here as an exclusive motherfucking insight into me in real life. I have been a bottled water drinker for some time now. It started maybe in the year 2017 or so, maybe 16, I don't know. Kind of got used to the fact that I was drinking bottled water and kind of kept drinking it to the point where I would just get thirsty and not drink tap water. So I don't really have any real reasons for it. It's not it's mainly a taste and quality of how I feel drinking it factor that I work with. But I'm not here breaking down the molecules too much and freaking caring about the details. It's more about I find myself drinking more water if it's bottled. I can really gulp it down. I can gulp down the tap water too if I have to, but it's like shit. I don't really want to keep gulping with a bottled water. It's a lot of fun and I just drink it. Now, I'm not a freak of nature, okay? It's not like I'm getting a bottle of water and pouring it into my kettle when I make a little Dilmah tea or Tetley for myself. I just use the tap for that because I don't notice the difference when it's all boiled up and infused with the freaking other stuff. But when I'm just wanting to drink a plain water by itself, bottled is what I want. And so, little old me goes to the shops. And it ain't easy. I'm not gonna freaking get into the details, but I buy once a week a 6-pack of 1.5 litre. So that's double the size of this, for reference. Supermarket brand bottled waters is spring water, but it's not freaking in a glass bottle. And I buy 6 of those and it generally lasts me a week. I go through one a day. That's my water intake. And those ones, the cheap bottled waters at the supermarket, cost 90 cents each or something. 80 cents even. It's less than $5 for the 6 of them. And yeah, that's what I get. But due to natural freaking climate change disasters in my local area, there's been what's called in this modern world panic buying that's been going down in the stinking shops. Now, you can check my Twitter for some details of what it looks like out here, but let's just say there was a lot of rain and it flooded the hell out of this place. Not me in particular in my freaking home, but the general area. And anyway, yeah, people at the shops freaking bought everything they could, I guess. I didn't go, but a kind supporter of the channel went for me. And my request was, among other things, bottled water. And assuming I was going to get the ones I normally get, the plastic cheap ones that I like, to my surprise, I got this instead, Mount Ossa. And let me just break down the cost factor of this Mount Ossa. I don't mean to just rave on about everything, but there's a lot going on in this water review, so... This Mount Ossa 750ml, according to my information, cost over $3. It was, let's say, $3.50. And I get it. It's a luxury freaking bottle all the way from Tasmania's highest peak, and it's been sculpted, and I get it. But let's just say in value per sip of water, this is freaking expensive. It's like the difference between a What is it like the difference between? It's like the difference between some freaking cheap thing and the expensive version. Let's say some no-name home brand cola and an actual Coca-Cola. The no-name one costs 20 cents a can. I don't know if I'm making the right kind of comparisons here, but let's just say this is some expensive freaking Ossa water. And it's exciting to be able to get to try it here and review it for the freaking water conscious viewers out here. I'd like to shout out to Tasmania. And yeah. So a little bit more about my bottled water freaking complex. It's really good and it's worth it to me. And I know there's different form factors that you can get the water in. Now I prefer the plastic bottles personally because they're lightweight, they're easily disposable. And I'm not talking about recycling, it's just like they're no trouble for me is what I freaking mean. And it's like, yeah. Plastic bottles, they're cheap, taste good, everything I'd want. Now it's not that I've got anything against the glass bottles, but it's just generally more expensive and whatever. But what I'm getting at is that you can also get those big huge jugs, like the big plastic freaking mega 10-liter bottle. I don't know what you call a plastic dispenser of water that size. It's not really a bottle, is it, anymore, but they're in the shops right next to these ones. And they're good, but the problem with those is you can't put them in the fridge, and you got to sit there with two hands, one in holding your cup or bottle and the other fiddling with the freaking tap mechanism, whatever it's got. It's like, and it drips out, and it goes slower the emptier it gets. And yeah, it's a bit of a hassle. And then you've got the other ones. It's like the water truck or whatever the hell it is service delivers you a big 30 freaking liter or 50 gallon or whatever the hell it is drum of water, and it goes on top of something. They have them in freaking, I don't know the types of places, and they got little cup dispensers, this kind of one. But you get that kind of thing for the home as well. And there's probably all sorts of different other ones you get. I've seen ones where people get something attached to their actual tap and it's meant to filter the water and whatever. And don't get me started too on those ones where you're meant to just you fill up like the jug with tap water and it's got some filter shit in it or whatever. And then you pour it out of that. And people say, oh, you can put that in the fridge and you can just keep reusing it. It is nowhere near the same as a fucking bottled water, okay? So don't kid yourself. Anyone who has one of those things, it's like, yeah, whatever. But it's not bottled water. It's just tap water in a freaking stupid container. The filter doesn't do anything. Like I've heard, okay, I'm not going to say that I'm aware, but I have heard of high-tech freaking water filters for use out in the third world, and the people have got no water and they're in the middle of nowhere and they got freaking diseases from your reused and filthy water and stuff. And it's like, okay, they invented some shit that somehow makes really bad water into acceptable water. I believe that exists, you know what I mean? It's not like I'm skeptical of the freaking facts out here, but what I'm talking about is that the ones that you get and put on the freaking bench at home don't do anything. Okay, and what they probably do is more harm than good, because the keen eye, when looking at those things, can maybe see that they're freaking filthy. You gotta clean them, so it's not worth the effort. I'd rather just have a bottle that you can put in the trash and forget about it. So I'm getting thirsty talking about all this, so I think I'll wrap up my bottled water manifesto. But let's just say I'm a happy bottled water drinker, and if I run out, I get thirsty. And if I freaking really don't want to go to the damn shops, I'll drink it tap water, but I'm not going to be happy with myself. And yeah, Bottled water is legit. Yeah, alright. So I'm gonna crack a bottle. So I'll get one last good look. I'll make sure. I don't know if my camera's freaking good enough to verify that it is never open, but the audio will probably hear the freaking clicks of the thing. So let's just try that. See, it's fresh. All right. It's got a little Ossa on the lid, and yeah, I do have a cup that I prepared for this review, but for the initial impressions, I'm just gonna guzzle. So see if I can get the Ossa in frame for this. I'll try and get a thumbnail freaking out of this. Guzzle. Alright. Shit. Okay. As you can see, it's almost more than half done. Just off that. And, it's pretty good. It's, yeah. Initial impressions. It's not, it's water. So, it doesn't taste, like anything. I didn't do a sniff test, which is a custom on this channel, so I'll just do that now. Alright, it doesn't smell like anything too, so... Look, it definitely is good. Off the bat, I'm feeling... What did they say? Replenish as we do. Okay, so I get that now. After, a big sip like that, I should have measured it out. Maybe, like, it's probably half. I guess that is the small end. Anyway, it's a good can worth of Ossa that I just had, and it's good. Yeah, it's good, but I don't know if it's $3 for this good. So I'm gonna have a bit more, and I'm just gonna think about that. The real crispness. I might wriggle it around in my mouth a bit, and like a wine tester would. Holy. So I'll just clarify. This one, it has not been put in the fridge. It's just room temperature. And full disclosure, it's not hot or anything. So like, I do have a second one of these that I haven't, full disclosure, I've never had an Ossa water before, but I was given two of these. So the other one's in the fridge, and doesn't matter for now. But yeah, it is good. And I'm just gonna put it down for now. I'll actually pour a cup of it so you can see what this water looks like in motion. Alright. So you're gonna get the Ossa in the freaking shot? Can I? Alright. That's what a glass of Ossa looks like. So I'll just put that to the side. There's not much left in the bottle, but I'm gonna put the lid on it anyway. Just so I can wave it around. And yeah. So I've got a few thoughts, like straight off the bat, it's definitely up to standards. Like, if you wanted a water, this is good enough, but full honesty, like, I don't think it's worth the extra money, even if it is in a glass bottle from Tasmania's highest freaking peak. But yeah, water. I'm in a completely different part of the country to Tasmania, so this, probably in this bottle, it said, I'm pretty sure, bottled at the freaking place. So yeah, in this bottle, it came from Tasmania. And that ain't easy. And I doubt that it came on a plane. So it probably came on a big freaking ship full of a million of these. And that's worth freaking some amount of millions. Like, someone's getting their cut. And they're probably, say this costs $3, and it costs more than that, mind you. Let's say for ease of freaking crunching sake, it was $3. The old Mount Ossa people probably don't even get half that. Like, it freaking costs money to get it there. And it ain't easy moving a big heavy bottle of water in the millions. So, I don't know what they're doing, but, yeah. And the shop's got to get a bit, like, the freaking tax man or whatever. So, they're barely making it, even though this is, look, I don't know that, but it's just my freaking deducing leads me to believe that they're not freaking, even though it's an expensive water and they're probably doing alright selling them, they're not making that much. It can't freaking be that good. Like, I guess even if the water's freaking free, it's like, it can't be easy, is what I'm trying to say. Whether or not they're getting a lot of dollars in their pocket, it's like, there's a lot in that. And yeah, it's pretty good. Well, while I freaking replenish my guts with that freaking water, I think I've said all the thoughts that I have just at face value, so it's good water. But before we make our final conclusions, I'm going to put this down and we're actually going to get a look at their website, so let's go and have a look. Alright, that's the Wikipedia for Mount Ossa, but first we're looking at their actual official site. So off the bat, there's not much to it. It's got some nice photos, naturally Tasmanian. Replenish as we do. Alright, this has got a bit more details, I'm loving it. It's like to what I was hinting at before. Ancient and sculpted by ice and wind, Mount Ossa stands tall in the heart of Tasmania's wilderness. Let me say that word again. Wilderness. At freaking 16, 17 meter above sea level. Forming highland streams that meander. Does it say that? Did I misread that on here? No, it doesn't say meander on the bottle. It says forming highland streams that flow towards. On here it says forming highland streams that meander towards. That's fucking lit. They paid some freaking fruit bat freak to freaking come up with this. It's like, let's just freaking put in these stupid words and make it sound spicy. Freaking meander. Mount Ossa nurtures the natural beauty of her surrounds. I love it. They got a her, they got a surrounds, and they got a meander. It's freaking poetic. Alright. So, that must be the place. And it says our waters. Mount Ossa spring water has the perfect natural balance of minerals and elements for distinctive, pristine taste. True to Tasmania's rich terroir? Terroir? What is that? I don't know what that is. So we're gonna freaking Google. What is this? Land. It's French for land. Okay. That's fucking funny. It's a terra and a freaking toilet. Alright. Okay. But let me back this up a bit and freaking just rewind this a little bit. I don't think it's distinctive. I think that they know it is not distinctive too. It's like, I bet you if you got the Mount Ossa HQ and lined him up next to frickin' Mount Franklin and all the other ones, all chilled in the fridge and put in a blind taste test, there's no way he'd get it right. Like, you could break it down and do the test frickin' multiple times, multiple people, and crunch it and frickin' prove it beyond a doubt. You know what I mean? Like, it isn't fucking distinctive, Mount Ossa. Sorry. Sorry for that. I get that you're on a terroir and you got meandering frickin' sculptures and ice and fire in the frickin' heart of the mountain, but it's not a distinctive taste. It might be pristine, but it's not distinctive. Alright. Alright. Still Tasmanian spring water, so that's what we've got. It's still natural composition. pH 7.6, calcium 31.95. I don't really know what these freaking numbers mean compared to normal water. And it's available in 500ml and 750ml. And we got the big one, 750. I wonder how much the stinking 500 costs. They need to double up. They need to start using plastic bottles to cut costs and to freaking make it easier for everyone and give us some bigger bottles. And they've also got a sparkling, which is probably nice, but I don't have that. I've only got the still. And it's got the same breakdown by the look of it, exactly. Oh, it's got a bit less pH, but the same as the other ones. I don't know much of the details about pH and freaking water, so whatever. And Di Bartoli. Okay, this is interesting. Mount Ossa is distributed by Di Bartoli Wines. Who would have thought it? Doesn't say that anywhere in the bottle. For sales inquiries, contact your Di Bartoli. For product inquiries, contact the Tasmanian Mount Waters. Di Bartoli, it's both fucking Di Bartoli. It's the same email address. They should just say it once. What the hell is this? It's the same email address. And they got a few more Di Bartolis here. And that's it. And the website designed by Walker Designs. They literally don't have any other page that is linked here on the front page. This is all they're offering. And I'm not going to deep dive it and go to the Di Bartoli site. But I'm just going to say that Di Bartoli is freaking lit. I have had to retire from it myself, but I respect the shit out of it. Especially knowing that they're making this stuff. It's upped my respect for Di Bartoli double. Not only do they make freaking cheap wines, and what they call fine wines that are cheap wines, or whatever the hell they make, you know what I mean? They're making this too, and I respect it. Alright. So we've got all we can out of the website. I checked, and they don't have a Twitter. I should check if Di Bartoli has a Twitter. I'm not going to check if they got an Instagram or Facebook. But we're going to have a look at the Mount Ossa Tasmania Wikipedia page. So as you can see, it's got a picture here. We'll enhance. Enhance. Holy moly, how many freaking megapixels do they give us? Alright. Well, can I see a freaking birdie or something? Not really. Is there a mountain goat out here? Is that actually Mount Ossa? It must be, I guess. It's crazy. These rocks, like the flat faces of the rocks, or whatever this is called. I don't know much about rocks, but I've never really seen a mountain like this myself in person, so it's pretty freaking crazy. I respect Mount Ossa for that. And, alright, but let's read what it says. Mount Ossa is the highest mountain in Tasmania, with a summit okay, we know that, 5,300 feet above sea level. It makes up part of the Pelion region within Cradle Mountain Lake St Clair National Park in the Central Highlands region of Tasmania, Australia. It was first surveyed by Europeans in the 1860s and confirmed to be the state's high point in 1954. Shit. What were they doing until 1954? I guess they had freaking booms and busts. 2 world wars. Alright. Mount Ossa Highland area spans the boundary between the Big River. That's a funny name for a river. The Big River. Get it. And northern Tasmanian. Oh, okay. It's not a river. It's the name of a people. Okay, let me break this down. The Mount Ossa Highland area spans the boundary between the Big River and northern Tasmanian Aboriginal nations. Several artifacts and campsites containing various stone types and tools have been discovered around the Pelion to the north and Lake St Clair, Tasmania to the south. It was first surveyed by Charles Gould in the 1860s and named after Mount Ossa in Greece, following the theme of classical Greek names set by George Frankland, an early Tasmanian surveyor. However, its location was marked as on what is now called Mount Neurus, and later surveyors alternatively referred to it to, excuse me, the later surveyor is alternatively referred to is at. What? I think they got a freaking grammatical error in this bitch. Let me go. However, its location was marked as on what is now called Mount Neurus, and later surveyors alternatively referred to is at. Is that meant to be it as? I think. Can we submit a fucking ticket? That almost blew my mind. Like, I'm not going to be able to recover from that freaking ever. Thanks a lot, man. Also, holy shit. It was thought that Cradle Mountain was the highest, with inexact equipment stymieing attempts to closely examine the area. It was confirmed to be the highest mountain in Tasmania after an aerial survey in 54. Whatever. In 82, the Mole Creek and Zeehan Mineral Prospecting and Exploration Company, I wonder how they're doing, discovered permane coal at the base of Mount Ossa and surrounding areas. Excavating several tunnels, the seams were found to be of low quality and the tunnels were not developed. Although copper mining was present in the surrounding area, a 1920s attempt to prospect for oil failed after the government warned investors away. The government told them to get lost. Mining and surveying activities led to the development of the area. Stewart's Track was created from the east and was extended and renamed Innes Track, now the Arm River Track. Old Pelion Hut formed the base of mining operation and still stands today as a hut on the overland track and the start point for bushwalkers climbing Mount Ossa. Doesn't look easy to climb Mount Ossa. It's all freaking flat and spiky. Trappers worked in the area from the 1860s until the collapse of the fur trade in the 1950s. Although hunting in the park was declared illegal after 1927, they established huts, some of which are still in use, and burned the land to encourage fresh growth and game. I respect it. National Park. In the 1910s, Gustav and Kate Windorfer began campaigning for the area from Cradle Mountain to Lake St. Clair, including Mount Ossa, to be a national park. It was declared a scenic reserve in 22, a wildlife reserve in 27, and its current designation of national park from 47. During this transition, former trappers began building huts. They were always building huts, these fucks. That's all they seem to do in this region. Alright, let's not freaking get caught up on the huts. They built some huts. Guiding bushwalkers, including Paddy Hartnett, Weindorfer, and Bob Quayle. Since then, Mount Ossa has become a popular bushwalking destination with an established route to the top in 1991. 30% of overland track walkers detoured up the mountain. Climbing. Mount Ossa can be climbed via a well-worn track from Pelion Gap to the summit. It can be approached either as a side trip from overland track via the Arm River track or via the Arm River track. It's confusing, this freaking Tasmanian shit, excuse me. Conditions can be very severe in winter with powerful winds and freezing temperatures. A short scramble is required to ascend. What the hell is that? This is the first fucking reference. I'm not going to click on that link, but I mean, Wikipedia needs to do better. It's just some random stupid article about some mountain, and they're telling you about a short scramble is required. Like, I don't like that. For some reason, that just doesn't sit right with me. This short scramble is required. It's like, just save that little bit of factoid and freaking put it in the fucking bank. Alright. Let's look at this map. Alright. We lose the little pin when we click on it, but as you can see, this is Tasmania. I think the, you know, the rest of the country's up here somewhere, so whatever. It looks like a pretty good place to me, like, to be honest. I don't know much about it, but I know they got a lot of apples and a lot of freaking boats, yacht, freaking Sydney to Hobart races every year or something. That's really all I know. But I also know that based off this map, these little inland freaking lakes, especially this one's freaking huge. It's like two right next to each other. It's crazy. That's some crazy freaking geography right there. And in between here, people probably freaking, I don't know, like, it's a wild place. Maybe one day I'll get to go there and see Mount Ossa for myself. They had this guy out there. He's born in England. He doesn't really matter for this review. Alright. So we've covered the website. We've got a bit of information about Mount Ossa itself. And we've uncovered the fact that Di Bartoli is involved. The freaking infamous Di Bartoli family. Freaking, yeah, alright. And yeah. So as I take time to freaking replenish all that information and get my calcium and my whatever else I got. What was the other one? Low sodium. Okay. I don't know. I'm glad I looked at this again because I missed the fact that it says low sodium. Why don't they just write high freaking calcium there, seeing as while they're at it, and write the perfect fucking pH next to the pH, and available in the freaking ultimate sizes of 500 and 750 while they're at it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you don't need to tell me that it's low sodium. Just tell me how much it is. I'll decide what's low for me. That should be a theme in freaking product descriptions. It's like, don't tell me what you want me to freaking hear. Just tell me and I'll make up my mind. Like, tell me what you want me to hear on the freaking ad. But when it comes to the ingredients section, like, I get it that it's all an ad, but it's like, just don't bother is what I would think if I was the person in charge of writing up this stuff. I'd say ditch the low and just write sodium. And yeah, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it's a nice water. And that wine in the glass, which I didn't realize at the start too, is probably Di Bartoli. And yeah, it's Ossa. I still don't know if I'm saying that right, like, but I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, I'll take a sip from the cup. So I've got a nice kind of teal freaking aqua greeny blue cup. It's got the Ossa in it. I'm not really thirsty anymore. I'm just doing it for the freaking thrill. Yeah, I don't know about distinctive. It's like you'd have to be pretty in tune with freaking pH and stuff to know the difference. I don't believe it personally. But if this water was the same price as a normal bottled water, it would be really good. It would be great. I love the story of the huts and the fucking park or whatever. But when you're at the shop and you're faced with friggin' hungry family of, excuse me, a sorry for that. Yeah, when you're at home and you're at the shop and you're faced with a freaking thirsty family of 12 at home, going, Mum, I'm thirsty for some bottled water. Dad, I'm hungry for some freaking ice blocks made with fruit juice and freaking bottled water. It's like, okay, I know I gotta get bottled water, but which one am I gonna get? And it's like, the bills are freaking stacking up, the mortgage is freaking late, the motherfucking, like, the toaster broke, you need a new, pair of boots for little Billy. It's like, there's a lot happening, and to squeeze out the extra $2 or more, because you're getting half the amount of water here for freaking more than triple the price. That's the math. That's quick math. You pay 6 times as much almost for the same thing, pretty much. Maybe there's a little more sodium, a little less freaking calcium, a little bit different pH, but it's a bottled water. There's no additives. It's freaking, this is a glass bottle, but literally like 6 times the price. And that's crazy. So, as good as it is, I'm not going to be able to recommend Ossa. Like, if it was 50 cents for this, I would recommend it. In the blink of an eye, it'd be the best water on the market. But for $3.50 or whatever the hell it is, I don't know, like, maybe that was the price for both of them, but I'm just basing it off the information I was given. And they don't say the price on the website. I could go and look at some freaking shops' catalogs. But let's just say it's $3, like I was told. That is freaking ridiculous. And yeah, sadly not recommended. I would suggest to buy the freaking home brand one. Or just any of them. This is the most expensive water I've ever heard of. The price of this water is like a freaking monthly wage in some parts of the world. So think about that when you're freaking in the terroir or whatever the hell that is. Terroir is French words, and the freaking what was the other one we had? Meandering. When you're meandering around the freaking house, just think. This bottled water is freaking ridiculously expensive. And I don't know where the money's going. But Di Bertoli is probably, now that I think about it more, they're probably freaking doing freaking a killing off this stuff. They have to be. Because there's probably Pueblo citizens out there around the country. I don't know if this makes it, it probably makes it out to New Zealand. I shouldn't have mentioned that, but I doubt it makes it much further than that. Maybe Indonesia. But it's like, yeah, they're freaking getting money. And I'm a happy customer though. It's not like I'm sad to get this, thinking, oh, I'm missing out on my $2 or whatever. It's just that it's only if it's the only one. There's no real freaking point in it, as far as I'm concerned. So save yourself the freaking money. That's Ossa. Finishing remarks. The huts. The mountain itself looked freaking cool, for sure. And, I guess I should have seen a list of Australia's highest mountains and see where that falls, just for my own freaking info. Highest mountains by country. Can you just freaking give it to me? It can't be that hard. But I want to see all its highest mountains. I don't just want to see the freaking top one. Do I have to Google this? Wikipedia is freaking not very helpful. Okay, do I want to go to ga.gov.au? Not really, but I'm going to. Alright, Mount Kosciuszko is the highest. Okay, so just off the bat, Ossa's not in the top 10. It's just the highest in Tasmania, which is the freaking smallest state. I won't say the worst state, because that's freaking Victoria. But Queensland doesn't have freaking any high either. That's pathetic. They're all in New South Wales by the look of it. Look at it. They're literally all in New South Wales. The top 10. That's crazy. I should be showing this page. Look. This is the top 10. No freaking Ossa. And this is Queensland. It's not even as high as Ossa. That's a freaking disappointment. So, but I guess it's not the flattest one, shortest one, because that's in WA, Mount Mahari. This is the only one I've really heard of. Kosciuszko. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, yeah. It's Mount Ossa, Tasmania's highest peak. It's got low sodium. It frickin' meanders. And forms streams and huts. And it costs frickin' a pretty penny, we'll just say. But it's alright. Yeah, sadly, I'm not gonna tell you to slap it in the trolley though. Deep it dolly. just keep it in the fruity gordos and whatever the hell other things they get for the best when it comes to Bartoli, because this isn't it. But it's still good in its own right if you don't think about the price. And next time I go to the shop, I'll get some of the other ones. Woolworths brand. Well, look, I don't want to advertise for Woolworths too much. We'll just say the freaking no-name ones. And, yeah. I've been your host, Dust350, and this has been Water Review. Thanks for checking in, and make sure to hit that sub button for all this and more when it comes to groundbreaking new water review content and freaking Mount Ossa. That's the sound of Mount Ossa. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna go and replenish some more. Till then, stay freaking damn hydrated. Thank you.